Good evening, mesdames et messieurs. My name is Inspector Jacques Leclerc, and I must offer my apologies for the late start of your little soirée. I regret I have to inform you that there has been a murder on these premises. Your guest of honor this evening was to have been Monsieur the Black Cat, the greatest mammatist in all of France, and therefore all of Europe. However, the Black Cat is no more. Let me describe the scene we have found. The Black Cat was staying in the main guest bedroom, a charming, well-appointed room on the second story, facing south over the garden with ensuite bathroom facility and a small drawing room. It was in this drawing room that the Black Cat was found hanging by the neck, as though he had committed suicide. But this was no suicide, oh no. An examination shows he had been strangled before he was hanged. He had clearly been disturbed whilst having a little afternoon snack, and there was some bread and a piece of Brie still on his plate. Now, this is very significant. The Brie was runny, and everyone in all of Europe knows the Black Cat hated the runny Brie more than anything. We have measured scientifically the runniness of this Brie, and from this clue we have been able to ascertain that he was murdered at 5:30 this afternoon. There is one other clue. A bullet was found next to the body. We do not yet know what this means, but we shall find out. The gendarmerie always find out everything. We have, of course, rounded up the usual suspects. None of them are guilty, but we have rounded them up anyway. Now we have to find someone who is guilty. And I think you will find that all of you, here tonight, are under suspicion. I shall be making the inquiries, and in the meantime, you had better maybe get your story sorted out, you know? Et maintenant, we find we have ourselves a pretty little pickle here, n'est-ce pas? We have Monsieur le Grand Butt, who says he is in bed with his wife when this murder is happening. But his wife is not there. She is having an affair with Mr. Coq Ramson, and who knows what else they are having. And who knows what Monsieur le Grand Butt is having either. We have their charming daughter, Nicole, who is being told by the resistance that she must strike a blow against the Black Cat, and she expects us to believe that is just a blow of the propaganda and not of the murder. We have Madame Ingrid Pith, who is receiving stolen property from the Black Cat, namely the famous picture of the swollen Madonna, but she is not paying him for the goods. Maybe she kill him for the money. We have the so-called Countess Bogov, who is no real countess. She is only the circus performer. The Black Cat, he knows this is the case. Maybe she kill him to keep him quiet. And we have Monsieur Oily Cat, who runs a nightclub from which the Black Cat walks out in circumstances of acrimony. Maybe he is killed in revenge. Or maybe Monsieur Oily Cat is come here to persuade him back. The negotiations fail, and then is murder. Who knows? We have plenty of motive. What we have to remember, however, is that the Black Cat was a big man. Very, very big. Enorme. He is, how you say, a man-mountain. He weighed maybe 20 stone or more. So, let us visualize the scene. The Black Cat is murdered, strangled, and then the killer has to lift a very heavy dead man in order to hang him? I think not. This is more than one man alone can achieve. I think we are looking for two killers. We are looking for a pair. So, that makes us think differently, no? I shall be thinking of you, my little chums. All of you. So now, the waters are even more muddied, no? And I do not like muddy waters. It is in these waters that the seagulls follow the trawlers looking for sardines to be thrown into the sea. Let us try to clear up these waters. There is a bullet by the body. This much we know. But what does it mean? Does it mean that the Black Cat was murdered by the Countess Bogov, formerly known as the Bullet? Or does it mean that he was murdered by the Resistance, who have been known to leave this trademark behind when killing collaborators? Mademoiselle Nicole Legrand-Butte and Monsieur Pierre Peysonsky, perhaps? Or is it maybe an attempt to frame the Resistance? I do not yet know the answer to this question, but I do know that the Resistance would want to kill the Black Cat, because he was a Gestapo agent. But Herr von Pinkelwurst, he too might have wanted to have killed a rival in his secret service, or he might have wanted to have killed a mime artist because of how the Black Cat abused him when he was a little child. I think, Herr von Pinkelwurst, you are probably mad, so I do not know quite what you might do. Then we have Monsieur Oily Cat, who is not what he pretends. He is not even French, for heaven's sake! He is a Englishman. I do not know what this means either. And there is Monsieur Grand-Butte and Mr. Kirk Ramson, who are both having the affair with Madame Pith, and neither of them is giving her what she wants, the visa. And I do not think Monsieur Grand-Butte is capable of giving her anything else either. This may be highly significant, or it may not. I do not know. And Madame Sherry Boot, she is offering to spend the night with the Black Cat, but she is not doing so. What has she got to hide? I am surprised, Deputy Mayor, that you have so many suspicious characters at your dinner table. With all these suspects, monsieur, I think you are really spoiling us. Ah, well, there are still many things we have yet to discover, but I think I begin to see the lightning at the end of the funnel. We shall see. So, I think now we have all the pieces of our jigsaw in place. Mr. Kirk Ramson tells us that his art is his least vulnerable spot. I think this is true. He is having the affairs with Madame Edith, but also with Mademoiselle Ingrid Pith. I am thinking he does not seem very committed to Madame Edith. I think you will agree he is not the kind of man to risk his neck for this woman. And if he does not do the murder, then nor does Edith. Monsieur le Grand-Butte is in the drunken stupor. This is very clear. He had no idea his wife was not in bed with him, which is very sad, but also very innocent. And if he is too drunk to do anything, then Mademoiselle Ingrid Pith has no one to help her do the murdering. Herr von Pinkelwurst is clearly mad. But I do not believe he and the so-called Countess have done this. Otherwise, he would not be going around calling for the death of mime artists. This is not the behavior of a guilty man. And why would he leave a bullet behind? Maybe it is the Countess bullet, but I do not think so. I do not think Herr Otto would let her do such a thing. No, my little chums. The bullet is very clearly the mark of the Resistance. So we have Mademoiselle Nicole and Monsieur Pierre Peysonsky. But Monsieur Oily Cat says he has seen them in the garden. So they have the alibi. But how does Monsieur Oily Cat see them in the garden? Maybe because he is in the garden himself. Or maybe you remember that the Black Cat's room faces south over the garden. Yes, you must remember this. Maybe it is from the window of this room that Monsieur Oily Cat sees the two young lovers. Ah, oui, I think this is near the truth. The Black Cat is a Gestapo agent. He is also a very big man. Much easier, I think, for two men to kill him and then lift him up to be hanged than for a man and a woman to do these things. I think the only answer is that he must have found out the truth of Monsieur Oilycat and so-called Sherry Boot, and that is why they have killed him. Therefore, Mr. Paddy Hashbrown, alias Monsieur Oilycat, and you, Monsieur Jean-Paul Satire, alias Mademoiselle Sherry Boot, I have formally to accuse you of depriving all of Europe of the greatest mime artist of his generation. I have to accuse you of murdering the Black Cat.